Trae. Come on, it's the day with Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a wonder-filled Wednesday, really filled with wonder today, y'all, because my guest who's in the building is somebody with some high stature, and I'm so looking forward to speaking with her, Miss Dianna Kennedy, and she is actually Mrs. Washington Curvé 2025, y'all. So we're going to be diving into her entire journey, what this looks like now, and how y'all can tap in. But of course, this is the top of the show. So this is the perfect time for you to start that tap in right here. Go ahead and share this show with folks who you feel could benefit from our daily dose of dopeness we work to give you here on the Day with Trae. And you know, if you can't watch our show, no worries. We got you covered. Y'all can always listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast as well. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You will find us there. Now, before I get into it with Mrs. Dianna, I'm going to tell y'all, like, there's something so special about little kids, okay? So whole story, we go to see a Johnny's play over the weekend, and my grandbaby is there. And, you know, the usher is so sweet. You know, they're all volunteers, so it's just so sweet. Are you planning on bringing the baby into the theater? And my son and my daughter-in-law are like, yeah. Now, of course, Zahir is not even one. So they're like, well, we don't allow kids under 5 in the theater. Now I'm like, oh no, because that's on me, because I should have known that, right? All these weeks that Johnny's been in rehearsal for Raisin in the Sun, I totally should have understood this, but I do understand why. However, they make an exception after I do all of my explanation, right? But it's so amazing because baby joy is like no other. My grandson was on a run of, I'm going to share my joy with everyone. So the show starts and they're up in the balcony and I can kind of hear at one point he makes a little, like he's happy, okay? He's laughing, he's giggling, but it's too much. So they try to move him to the, you know, green back room in the back, like that's upstairs. Nope, you can still kind of hear him because he's now playing a game with his mom because she's trying to get him to be quiet and he's having a blast with her putting her hand up to his face. So he's grabbing it and he's like, blah, 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 blah. So eventually they're like, okay, sorry, y'all, you're gonna have to exit the theater. And I'm like, oh no, you know, we came all the way out here. It's supposed to be our family day to watch a Johnny in the show. It was all good, but I was so enamored with this story because when you talk about the joy of little babies, you know, there's something that is infectious about it. And so, of course, when I see him and they're on their way out, because it's intermission at this point, when I finally get to see him, he's still on a high. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, he's grabbing all the things, right? It was the most fun time, an infectious time. But I gotta say, family time is just that because I saw him on the sugar high the night before, y'all, and that was also hilarious. So for those of you who have the young babies in your lives, you know, take some time to be impacted by their infectious joy. I promise you, there's something so special about it that it carries you forward. Like when you have those moments where you're like, oh man, you know, I don't know, then this thing or this day, just stop and think about a baby laughing. Like just stop and think about it. Now you can actually pull up videos on your phone to see it if you don't have young babies around you, but there is something so special about the innocent nature of pure joy of our baby. So I had to share that story with y'all. Well, up next, y'all, I'm really excited because after this short break, we got Miss Dianna. She is Mrs. Washington Curvé 2025. Y'all definitely don't want to miss this about all of her journey and the ways y'all can tap in. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Ready to be intentional with your spending? Whether you're gifting it or using it for yourself, the Buy Black card allows you to shop at many different Black-owned businesses across the greater Seattle area, like Love a Latte, Dramer Ice Cream, Motis Beauty Supply, Pizza by Ruffin, The Spa House by Queen Care, and so many more. You can see the full list of participating businesses when you sign up for your Buy Black card at intentionalist.com. And thanks to our friends at BECU, you'll save 20% when you load your card. Spend like it matters with the Buy Black card.
Getting the scholarship really changed the conversation. It went from, no, I can do school in my free time and make it work, to I could only focus on school and I can be the best I can be every single day. I can soak up everything. I can read before class and make sure I'm not just learning enough to pass a test. Like, I could really pour all my time into school. That's what having a Seattle College Foundation scholarship did for me.
Hey, what up, everybody? Truth Talks is one of the hottest shows streaming, and we're expanding. You can catch all the tea live and unedited Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and again at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Dive into the truths you need to hear, from pop culture to politics and some of the biggest celebrity exclusives.
I wrote the song in the car.
Get out the way. That was my theme song.
Set your reminder to catch us live on Fox Soul or binge watch on YouTube/Fox Soul.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Trae Holiday, your host, and I'm welcoming you back to The Day with Trae. Joining me right now, really excited to have Miss Dianna Kennedy in the building. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good. So excited to be here.
Well, you now have a new title, and before we get into all of that, I gotta talk about your background.
Yes.
Because every time I think about any type of pageant, there's something probably from either early age or something that ignited you. Just tell us maybe that connection there that you were able to make.
Yeah, so let's see. I've always loved beauty. I started in beauty, ever since I can remember. I asked my mom, I think I was in elementary school, and I was like, I want to wear makeup. And she was like, not till middle school. And so little did she know, middle school for me was 6th grade. And so we went to 6th grade, and I was like, Mom, I want to wear makeup. And she's like, no, it's middle school. And I was like, Mom, 6th grade is middle school, so I can wear makeup. So she let me wear like the black eyeliner with the white eyeliner and the black lip liner and crazy, crazy makeup back then. But it stems from, at a very young age, just the love for beauty and just wanting to feel beautiful. I think that's where it started. But 13 years ago, actually, I was in a pageant. So it was the first Washington State plus-size pageant called Mrs. Plus America, or Mrs. Plus Washington. And I don't know, I had a desire, and one of my friends, Tasha May, she was like, you need to think about it. And so she was the director for the pageant. And I was like, oh, I'll think about it. And so fast forward, I thought about it and I did it. And it was a great experience, but that was 13 years ago. So I haven't done anything since then. So now this is like my coming back. Wow. It's just, it came up again. I did my friend's makeup for the Mrs. Washington USA pageant back last June. And she was strutting her stuff on the stage, and I knew some other people on the stage as well, some other ladies. And I just kind of had this like gut feeling like, I think I can do this again, Wow. And that, it kind of stirred up inside me. And so I talked to Tasha, we met, and now Tasha got me to do the pageant again. So now I'm in the Mrs. Globe pageant, competing for the national title in June.
Wow.
Yeah.
The thing of it is that the world of pageantry, it starts at the local level,
Yes.
but it is like, local to global.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And you think of most pageants, they've always had this kind of expansion idea.
Yeah.
So tell us about your journey, because you now hold the title. You're going for another one, but tell us about receiving this title.
Yes. So this particular system is actually an international pageant. It's the largest international pageant that there is, and it's televised, actually, the international pageant. So what they do is, they don't do individual state competitions.
got it.
Yeah. So what I did was I interviewed, and I had to do application, and I interviewed, and now I have the title of Mrs. Washington Curvé 2025. So I was awarded the title for the state on the state level. So I get to represent my state in this title as the awarded beauty queen. And then I'll compete nationally. So national will be in June, and I'll compete for the US of A Curvé title in June. And if I win, then I'll compete internationally for the international title of Mrs. Globe Curvé.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Oh my goodness. So tell us a bit about what it takes to get prepared for the national title now at this point, because obviously you're in the thick of it now. We're talking about June, we're talking about a few months away. Tell us a bit about your preparation.
So preparation really is how do I want to represent Washington? So there's little things, right? Like you always want to make sure, you know, the way you speak and how you deliver yourself, representation, you know, how you look and things like that. Obviously learning walk and how you want to present yourself on stage. But I think the biggest thing you want to prepare yourself for is how you're representing. So because I'm not just representing on a city level, like when I did it 13 years ago, this is state level. So I'm not just a candidate, I'm actually an awarded queen. So which means I already kind of hold this certain standard of representing Washington State on that title. So with the Mrs. Globe organization, she started the pageant as a fundraiser for her nonprofit, which is called the WIN Foundation. So WIN, Women in Need. So she wants to represent women who have been on in the narcissistic or domestic abuse. So it's kind of crazy because my platform, The Makeup Within, really coincides with that. So the Makeup Within is my business, but it's also my mission. So it's what I represent, what I believe in. So when Tasha brought up the Mrs. Globe pageant, it literally went with what I'm already doing. So preparing for this is really doing things like this, really getting the word out, getting the message out, partnering with other entrepreneurs, partnering with other organizations, people who have a mission and who have a need, and really me partnering my need with their need and us getting together on a more community level, and then bringing it state level, bringing it international level. So, and that's why I'm doing this and I'm here.
Well, tell me more about your platform than your business, because you say there's this natural alignment. How are you using makeup in terms of like fulfilling those needs? Tell us more.
Well, makeup just brings people to me, right? So I specialize in brows. I used to do makeup. I still do makeup, but on a very lower, smaller scale. I have a love-hate relationship for makeup. It's one of those things I've been doing for 20 years. And so I love it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, let me limit how much makeup I do. So I specialize in brows. So I do waxing, tinting, laminating, and I also do permanent brows. So that's what I do day to day. But the Makeup Within is my overall business, which is I call it my umbrella business. So the Makeup Within Beauty Studios. So what I do is I house other beauty-based professionals in my business. So right now I have about 27 renters who rent from me as independent contractors who are all also in the beauty industry. But the Makeup Within, it started as, like I said, a vision. It started as it actually started as an Instagram, my Instagram handle. And God gave me that vision, and it just exploded to not just a vision, now not just a business, to now more of a mission. So again, makeup or brows just gets people in my chair, but then it starts with me encouraging the inside. So not just beautifying the outside, but beautifying the inside. So encouraging them, finding out what the need is, not just the superficial need, but the internal need. And maybe how can I navigate them in the right direction to who they need to talk to, or maybe even just partnerships, or how they want to grow. I've been doing business coaching as well, business consulting. So it's just, and then also having the independent contractors who work for me, there's always questions on how can they build their business. And so now my business is actually growing I'm actually in the process of renovating another spa suite. So I'm growing, which thank you, Lord, for that. But it's partnering with other businesses that want to grow their business. And I found that there's such a need for that. And people don't know what direction they want to go in. And so I'm in a space now where I've kind of been there, I've done that, and I've kind of grown, and now I can share that with other businesses.
Well, I see this multiple layers that you're fulfilling here. I mean, you're talking about the people that end up in your chair, but you're also talking about these independent contractors who now have space for the work they're doing.
Absolutely.
So kudos to you, because honestly, I talk about this a lot, but when we find value in community by offering things of this nature, having ourselves available for those who are in need.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about.
Absolutely.
And that's how you build community. So you're
Yeah.
doing it in a
Yeah.
phenomenal way.
Yeah.
Great representation for Miss Washington Curvé.
Thank you.
So now you're getting prepared. You're
Yes.
getting the word out.
Yes.
You're doing different events. You're partnering with different nonprofits and different
Yes.
organizations.
Yes.
Are you finding that you're getting what you need in this journey, right? How is this fulfilling you?
Well, what's fulfilling for me is I'm an extrovert. I love people, and I find that when I pour into people, people pour into me. It's really mutual benefit. And just even like my business, it's not just for my personal benefit and for me to get this amazing profit or whatever you think that I'm getting from it, but it's really what I'm doing for them and what they're doing for me. It's a mutual thing. So these businesses are coming into my business to grow their business, but it's also growing my business. So it's really mutual partnership, mutual benefit. But I'm feeling a sense of fulfillment. Everything I do boils back down to my faith. And so I have this slogan of being fishers of men, and that's scripture. And so what I do is not just about building business, but it's about building people and bringing people back to Christ. How can I pour into them? How can I plant that seed of faith into them? And it's, again, the same thing with the pageant. And it's crazy because I was apprehensive at first about the pageant, and I'll tell you why. The pageant, sometimes people have this connotation that pageants are very about vanity and about vain. And so I didn't want to be, represented in the wrong light or perceived in the wrong light. And I prayed. And it's crazy. And I felt like God gave me peace about it because he kept opening doors for me to pursue down this avenue. And I knew no matter which avenue I went down, it would have been this avenue. Because God has given me a voice, and I'm not shy to share that voice. I know that what I'm meant to do is share the gospel. And that's what I do in my business. So it's pageant, it's business, it's family. It all coincides.
So I gotta tell you, this is inspiring. Honestly, it truly is, Dianna. It's when you talk about the characteristics of pageants and being able to break that monotony.
Absolutely.
Of I think I'm beautiful, so pageantry is a natural path for me.
Yes.
There's something so much more in depth about being able to provide not only an avenue that allows you to connect with people, but to spread your message even further.
Yes.
Right? In terms of serving, folks in need. Now, women in need, huge organization.
Yes.
It's great that this is connected to that.
Yes.
And so I love when you were talking about the natural synergy there. Already there's partnership and there's ways for people to get engaged and get involved. But when you think about, what it means to possibly win the national or international, competition, tell us a bit about how you kind of foresee using those platforms to mold into what you're already building.
Yeah. Well, if I would have never done this pageant, I would only be able to reach my community, the people that I can touch, right? But doing this pageant opens up my mission and what I believe in on a larger scale. So not just community, not just city, not just state, but now national and then potentially international. So really sharing my message of what the Make It Within means, building inner confidence one face at a time, building confidence one touch at a time, one connection at a time, one partnership at a time. That's what I do. So really partnering with other amazing queens. I mean, you're talking about there's doctors, there's nurses, there's corporate employees, there's people that own large organizations who are in pageants because they have a voice. And they're not just defined by what they do every day at their 9 to 5 or if they're an entrepreneur, but they're defined by what they represent. And so they want to represent that on a larger scale. And so connecting with other like-minded women is something that I want to do. And I know it's going to happen because it's all up to God. But I believe that things are going to go far because it's ordained by God.
Well, I'll say you definitely are representing Washington well.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you decided to apply.
Thank you so
and
much.
that they saw what they needed to see in you to give you this title.
Yes.
Now, as you continue on this journey, of course, people are going to be intrigued. They're going to want to follow and figure out how they support. You can look right there in this camera. Let them know how they continue to follow you on your journey.
Yes. So Instagram, so at The Makeup Within, so at The Makeup Within, Dianna Kennedy. Facebook as well, Dianna Kennedy. And also my business page on Facebook is Dianna Kennedy or at The Brow Blueprint. So The Brow Blueprint is where I specialize in brows.
Wow. Thank you
Yes.
so much for doing
TikTok
this
as well.
work. There you go, y'all.
TikTok, at
Look,
Makeup Within, Mrs. Washington Curvé.
all of the platforms.
Yes, all of them.
You know, kudos to you and
you.
congratulations for this
Yes,
amazing
yes.
honor. You are wearing it nicely.
so much.
Clearly a great representation for us in Washington State. So thank you for everything you're
I
doing.
appreciate this. Thank you.
Anytime you got some updates, come on back to the Day with Trae.
Will
We got
do.
you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Wow, y'all. What did I tell you? Okay, when we talk about a wonder-filled Wednesday, definitely was. And you know, I get to wrap up all this wonder right after this short break.
Getting the
Stay
scholarship
tuned.
really
You're
changed
watching the Day with Trae.
conversation. It went from, no, I can do school in my free time and make it work, to I could only focus on school and I could be the best I can be every single day. I can soak up everything. I can read before class and make sure I'm not just learning enough to pass a test. Like, I could really pour all my time into school. That's what having a Seattle College Foundation Scholarship did for me.
Empowering the community one connection at a time. ConnectWA is your partner in finding the support you need. Download the app today and experience the difference that a connected community can make. Learn more at eec-wa.org/connectwa-app.
Hey, what up, everybody? Truth Talks is one of the hottest shows streaming, and we're expanding. You can catch all the tea live and unedited Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and again at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Dive into the truths you need to hear, from pop culture to politics and some of the biggest celebrity exclusive.
I wrote the song in the car.
Get out the way. That was my theme song.
Set your reminder to catch us live on Fox Soul or binge watch on YouTube/Fox Soul.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Huge shout out to my guest today, Mrs. Washington Curvé 2025, Dianna Kennedy. You know, one of the things that we talk about here all the time, you all know it, is inspiration. And when this platform can uplift people who are providing that level of inspiration, that is not only like one layered or two layered, it is multi-layered. And you could hear it in her passion for this work and in her passion for service, because that's really what this is about. And I really appreciate the message today of breaking away from the monotony of thought that pageantry is all about being vain,
Yes.
or it's about vanity. You know, for those of you out there who need that inspiration and want to do something to help others, this is a great example of how you do just that. You can step up and be a part of community in some phenomenal ways that really make an impact for others. If you keep those ideas to yourself, nobody will be impacted by them but you. Maybe you and, you know, your maker, your creator, right? But when you bring them out into the community, others really do get to benefit. And the beauty of that is that that's where we all grow together in our oneness. So I encourage you to listen to this interview today, see this interview today, and take it as an opportunity for you to be inspired enough to be a part of the solution, like Miss Dianna is, okay? After this, y'all know this week I get to be back with y'all, and I'm always excited to be with y'all. Until then, at 11 a.m., y'all. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.